apparently it is. You do good work, loading like that. Now if your little brother here could be even get close. Actually, he's giving his all. He's really going for it. It's good, means I can finish this here and be like, well, done with it. Not, of course, not yet. Give it a bit. Now, where did I put this and where have I put the other one? There I have it. Hit it a bit, yes, but I didn't hit it well enough. Well then, I've it out of the way. Let's say I'm going to change things around, and just because, the second Gothic gives me as much of a pain in the ass to actually get it to capture properly like the first one, that we are going to do this with the old-fashioned way. What is the old-fashioned way? You might wonder. This is the old-fashioned way. Basically, instead of, actually capturing the fucking window, I'm just going to capture display. Let's use the giant middle finger to all of this nonsense, because now you should technically be able to see it. Isn't this cool? Oh, Gothic, again. Haven't had that in a while now, had we? That's because I'm quite out of ideas and I don't have much time today, so I thought, doing a bit of introduction work to the second one is probably not a bad idea, actually. Now, I have no idea how this is going to work out intro-wise and stuff, but well, we're going to see. Problem now is, I need to... I need to click something. As you can see, pain in the ass. This game doesn't like getting, anything done with it, basically. Oh well. Let's not carry that one overly much. And instead, let's take this nice little new game button. I have, from very, very much back then, dig out an old save game. I loaded it and I saved it over, with the actual version and stuff, and it should work. It's gonna save me some bloody time in the near future, but for the moment, new game button it is. Let's see what nonsense is gonna happen. That didn't scale anyway. Well, shit. I guess you're gonna, need a magnifying glass there.
A single prisoner altered the fate of hundreds, but he paid a high price for it.
Oh no! That's not how the first one ended. Looked a lot better then. Yeah. The penal colony of Kyrenes. Yeah, I remember doing that. I am hero. I was. For a very short time. See? We did very much good there. Did the most impressive thing. Nice sword, bro. Nice armor. Pretty sweet things we've got there.
He defeated the sleeper, destroyed the barrier. But while all the other prisoners escaped, he remained behind in the rubble. It was I who dispatched him against the sleeper.
Well,
now
somewhat,
it is
yes.
I who brings him back from there. He is weak and has forgotten much. But he is alive. He's back.
And completely naked, unarmed, and he has forgot pretty much all the skills.
There you are again. I never thought the two of us would meet again.
Well, yeah.
I feel like I
Me
spent
neither.
3 weeks lying under a load of rocks.
Well, so you did. Only the
Well, so
magic
you
in
did.
your armor kept you alive. I had feared I might not be able to rescue you from the debris of the temple, but enough of that. You're here now. There's a new threat that we have to deal with.
Great. I'm not even back, Basically, I've been dead for, well, around about 2 weeks. Pretty much. And the first thing is not a, take your time, maybe when I get something, to eat or something. No, it's just, we've got a new thread, bam, get to it, bitch. Yeah, feels good to be back, doesn't it? We've got plenty of time now, the sleeper has been vanquished.
At least we have enough time now. I did it. The sleeper
has been banned.
Way.
You vanquished him, so much is true. But it's not within our power to stop the war that ensues now. With his final furious scream, the sleeper has set into movement the armies of darkness.
Well, great.
It was an order to all evil creatures, a word of power that they were all bound to obey. His last order was, come, and they came.
All over us, them, yes.
Even the dragons.
Dragons?
They are creatures
yes,
of an
amazing, isn't it?
I can sense their presence, even here. And they have gathered an
that sleeper had a bit of a nasty humor there.
Creatures around them.
Where's this army now?
The army is camped not far from here, in the Valley of Mines near Corinus, and they're getting ready to attack.
But that's not all. There is another threat of which I have learned only recently.
What other threat even could you be talking about?
After the fall of the barrier and the banishment of the sleeper, Beliar's wrath has grown even greater. A mighty artifact, so it is written in the old scriptures, will be brought back to this world when the god of darkness sends his henchmen out to search. This search has long since begun. Beliar's henchmen are desecrating the oldest shrines of the gods. The guardians of these holy places have awakened, and their wrath makes the earth tremble.
That's so. I've heard of.
Every powerful magician on this island could sense this wrath.
And still you're just in there totally unprepared.
And some of them have certainly begun to face the threat.
You're a pretty bad mage. If you let the enemy get that close. I'm just gonna point it out.
Their ally. That's the only way to stop Beliar.
Horribleness. I need weapons.
I need weapons.
And skills.
I can only give you whatever little I have here. Look around in my tower. Anything that looks useful to you, you can have.
Great, I take Zardas. And your armor, and your skills. Oh, and let's hurry to get out of here, running away.
Then let's hurry to get out of here.
If we flee now, then it's only to face the dragons later.
Great.
With the help of the soldiers and the magicians who live around here, we can stop them before their army is completely formed. We're not going to get a better chance.
Yeah, I don't want to choose, I want to get away.
What can we do?
This time we cannot handle it by ourselves. Only the power of Innos will help us against these dragons. A group of paladins is stationed in the city of Corinus, not far from here. They possess a powerful artifact which could help us to defeat the dragons. They call it the Eye of Innos. You need to get hold of this artifact.
That nonsense.
Tell the paladins about the threat. You must convince their leader to support us.
And once you have talked to him,
that is such a bloody fucking facepalm moment, Zardas.
It is the counterpiece to the Eye of Innos. It must not fall into the hands of evil.
Let me give you an explanation. Me, a dude, naked, skinny, with no skills whatsoever, is gonna knock at the highest paladin's door and be like, knock knock, I know you have a very important artifact here, the Eye of Innos. Would you, lend that to me? With no bloody guarantee whatsoever that I'm not just, some random beggar off the street. Sure, he's gonna do that. Absolutely. Heck, the way we are looking, the very fact that even getting into the city is gonna be a pain in the ass. But still.
What exactly is the Eye of Innos?
It's an amulet. Legend has it that Innos himself was poured part of his power into this amulet. It will restore some of your lost strength and help us defeat the dragons. It also has some other hidden powers. I shall tell you more about that once the amulet is yours.
Yeah, let's go to the very obvious point of,
Why would the paladins give me the Eye of Innos?
Because you are the one who is destined to wear it.
How can you claim to know that?
There are a number of reasons, the most important being you have defeated the Sleeper. If you weren't a favorite of the gods, you'd be dead by now.
See the part where I was 2 weeks under stones. Huh? No?
How would the paladins know that's true?
The eye itself chooses the one who may wear it. Once you get hold of it and put it on, the paladins cannot doubt your words anymore.
Yeah, just kidding. There's a bit of a pain in the ass.
How can I get to the city?
Just follow the path from here through the mountains. The city is large. You cannot miss it, but watch out. The path to town is not without dangers, and you aren't nearly as strong as you once were.
Which is the understatement of the day, mind you.
I'll be on my way as fast as I can.
Good. And one more thing. Don't tell anyone that you've talked to me. Above all, don't tell any magician. Since I have gone into exile, the Circle of Fire has taken me for dead, and that's a good thing.
Dum dum dum. No! Let me read that. Because, as you can see, we're getting experience for that. Really doesn't matter what's actually written in there, because, you know, it's just bloody nonsense. But yeah, you know, when Sada says, you've forgotten much, he's lying. There's nothing here. We are a guildless level 1 Magic Circle 0, experience 25, which I just gained from reading a book. With a strength of 10, a dexterity of 10, a 10 mana points, 40 hit points. I have no protection from anything because I don't even have an armor. My one-handed, two-handed bow and crossbow skill have been reduced to nothing, and I don't even remember how to sneak, pick locks, well, or anything else for that matter. As you can see, a few things have been getting there, like, you know, create runes and alchemy and forge weapons. Nice. Most of that is pretty useless, but nice. Generally speaking, you know, in games like this, it's the first job that it's usually the most
Hey, you!
harrowing, because you start out with nothing, and that kind of makes the world dangerous. Once you get your earrings a bit more,
Can you tell me anything about this stone tablet?
that it just stole
First,
from
I
you.
suspected it might be a magical artifact, but I finally concluded that it is not of any great significance.
Oh, it is actually.
I have not been able to decode the meaning of this tablet entirely, but it seems to concern the history of a very old culture.
Yes,
If you
yes.
want the tablet, it's yours. I have no use for it.
I wasn't really asking, you know. It wasn't a situation where I was willingly going to give that back.
Where exactly are we?
As I already said, near the city of Corinus.
That's
I have
not a
rebuilt my
very
tower here.
But
precise
it's only been a
statement.
few days since we last saw each other in the Valley of Mines.
The servants I summoned to build
Yeah,
my tower
2
have
weeks.
done a thorough job.
You can say that again. Where can I find better equipment?
The closest place where you can get better weapons and armor is the city of Corinus. But down in the valley you can find some healing herbs that will help you if you get injured in a fight. See the lake
And,
right
you
in front
know,
of my tower. A secret passage leads to the valley from
and he
there.
doesn't mention the fact that it actually, you know, is a passage. As in a cave system. And, you know, caves usually hold things, creatures.
Why is the Circle of Fire not supposed to know about you?
I
That's
used to
nice.
be a high member of the Circle. Even then I suspected that demon magic might be the key to the magic barrier. But I could never have convinced the other members of the Circle to follow this path. So
Yeah,
I left
no
the
shit,
Circle in order
Sherlock.
to study the
Really,
black
no
arts.
shit.
That is a crime for which the fire magicians, the ordained of Enos, the ever good and virtuous, will accept no excuse.
Well,
They are
you
certain
really
that
love
I'm
them, don't
still
you?
alive, but they have no idea where to find me, and that's a good thing too.
So what should we do next?
We shall proceed as planned. You can go
Yeah.
get yourself the Eye of Enos.
Go get yourself the Eye of Enos. Could you maybe walk away from that stand? Zardes, Burberry. Let's forget some special attacks of getting used to. Again. How the heck did I even open this? Pretty sure there was a button you could push to open that, but please, for the love of God, don't ask me where that button was. I haven't played this game in years, so, you know, my memory is a bit shaky. Also, the controls are a bit, you know, different from the first one, so I'm kind of trying to press things that are really not right. No problem. Just a little bit. Where's that bloody button? I really wish I would remember. Heavy branch. Oh, right, my new inventory system. That's gonna take some getting used to. Was it here somewhere? Yes, it was. I knew it. Okay. It might have been years, maybe decades since I played this. It's like, alright, I remember. Actually, can't I? No. Game's like, no, you cannot. Okay, game, I'm gonna take those coins one at a time. Just as you like it. Then I'm gonna sit down and be like, yes. That is what I had deserved. And a few women, you know, banning me or something. Or fangirling over me, maybe, but no, instead I'm here. Once again a nobody, once again with nothing too many. And no skill. Also, game, why are you trying to lag? That is not very nice of you. You're not supposed to do that. Let us not jump to a death just yet. Oh right, those bloody freaking shrines, I remember those. Let's not pray to Belia. He's probably not gonna be very much pleased with me. Mostly because, you know, I kinda murdered one of its creatures. Murdered is actually not right, I banished him, yes. The way of battle. The best defense is a good offense. Enough about that nonsense. Let us not go too much into detail there. Oh right, actually I do remember that I'm going to get a very interesting weapon actually. Just shortly. A very horrible weapon, mind you. In a way. A bit difficult actually. Potions for permanent changes and ingredients. An elixir of dexterity. Oh right, the ones you want to keep. Like Goblin Berry, that actually gives you 1 dexterity if you eat it, but if you make an elixir out of it, you actually get more dexterity. So you want to keep those, then you want to learn alchemy, so you can actually, you know, make stuff out of this. Alright, and you need the King's Sorrel as an ingredient. Yes. Yeah. I remember that. I remember that being a pain in the ass. Hunt and pray. Yeah. Basically describing basic creatures of the game and being like, you wanna counter those. And what you can do. Now, considering the game, learning hunting is not a must. It's a can. Same with blacksmithing, basically. Like, yes, it's nice, but you don't need it, per se. That is putting it mildly. Really don't. What was down here? A torch. I mean, it's something. Water. Torches. Now you would expect that Zardos being the all-powerful mage that can fucking pretty much resurrect the dead. Or almost dead, mind you. And teleport them, you know, all the way from the freaking Valley of Mines to here. Would have a bit more in his tower, and would probably be able to conjure freaking gold or something to give me some starting. I'm like, here, I give you 1,000 gold. Gonna get you places. Because, you know, money actually does get you places. But no, of course not. Then, you know, we wouldn't have much of a game. Instead, he's forcing me to do this. Picking up single gold coins. Because believe it or not, Zardos, he's a bit of a bit of a cunt, generally speaking. Don't fall in there. We're just here to look for stuff, like this. Now for a first test run, I'm somewhat happy the game is running until now without crashing. So far so good. All those, you know, Little stops sometimes. That's a bit annoying. I feel the need to do something about that. I just have to yet find out what I can do with that. I could even find out of how and what actually causes that. Which, generally speaking, pain in the ass. Now then. Gothic 2. The world looks nicer, brighter, generally quite a cool place. Then again, this is the game where I'm like, yes, not bad, but world is really, really big. Especially compared directly to the first one. Okay, we need to be a bit careful. You know how they say save often? That is a phrase meant for games like this. Quite literally, for games like this. Also, since when game does it take you so long to load and save? And not how I remember that. I definitely have to look up some stuff later on. But well, no. Can I zoom in a bit? I'm feeling a bit blind. Also feeling like I'm going to die. If I'm not very careful. Yes, game, I would very much like to see the ground. Because of that. Well, to be fair, it wouldn't be Gothic without, you know, falling to your death at least once. Part and parcel, my friends. Living in this world. That you're going to die. Falling down. Harshly. Now then, let us not try this again, and let's go back to roads. Yeah, basically, in every bloody corner, you can find stuff. Sometimes even quite useful stuff. Not always though. But game. Digger meat. That sounds healthy, doesn't it? A sheep. That would be a shame, eh? Somebody were to beat you. Look at my powerful skills, sheep. Well. I'm feeling satisfied, I murdered something. Nah, there goes. I think at least in this one area, Gothic had actually done something that I personally find rather enjoyable. Namely, that the range of my weapon actually matters. Should be surprised how many games actually just go by stats. Which is a bloody pain. Now then, no wolf. That's probably going to be good to remember how to actually fight in this game. Still very much used to the controls of the first one, which is a problem. At least I can get some meat from you. Now, if memory serves, an old acquaintance of our little unknown hero here is actually waiting in front of there, but there's actually another one. And he's fighting the goblins, isn't he? Yes, he is. Yeah. Let him fight then. Goblins. If you remember goblins from the first Gothic game, as I do, you kind of end in this situation be like, oh shit, I don't want to fight you. Why? Because the goblins have been a pain in the ass back then. I've become quite a bit weaker, mind you. Not a bad situation at all, I would say. Now, I remember there being a bow somewhere around here. I think actually behind here. Bow and a few arrows. With a skeleton. Yes, there's the skeleton. Means... See, it's like I was here yesterday. Just that yesterday this case has probably, you know, a few years to it. Which means that there are some nasties in those tunnels, because Zardas is a bitch who does not ever point something like this out. It's like, go through secret tunnel, pretty cool. Valley has healing herbs. You might want to have those in case you need healing. That you need to actually fight your way through that bloody tunnel. And that there are dangerous creatures in there. He completely ignores that. He doesn't even tell you. I mean, generally, Zalas has a way with words that is very special. Like, yeah, you're just weakened. Not like you have to start all over again. Now then, first things first, a few more goblins to murder. Goblins, not much of a problem, as we just found out. Actually, I always felt that, in comparison to the goblins I experienced in Gothic 1, these ones actually feel somewhat weaker, I suppose. Either that or you just the way damage is calculated is a bit different. Then again, it is actually different in Gothic 2 and Night of the Raven. Interestingly enough. And a few hours of trying to save the game later. Our journey continues. Now that's 2 goblins. Ah, no, I don't want to fight with so many. Just have 1. You're not gonna just let me fight 1, eh? Oh, no, you actually let me. Gonna regret that goblin. Oh no. Nice. Critical hits, bitches. Now for a very, very long time, Deckber actually annoyed me with that bloody sentence about how apparently bitches love cannons. And he was not shy about showcasing where he got that from for quite a long while.
Nothing there.
Shut up. I think, personally, bitches love crits a lot more than cannons. Crits are pretty damn useful. Gain apple actually isn't? Yes, this is the game where you can eat 50 apples to gain a point of strength, I believe, was it? Yes, I don't remember that. But actually, I should probably actually read up a bit. Get my memory a bit jogged. Because, well, it's just like, I remember that I saved up apples and did never ever sell those, because I do know that's actually give you a permanent up, but now I'm sitting here like, was it actually strength? Do I get a health bonus from that? Because that would also make sense. I don't remember, honestly. Not off the top of my head, at least. Oh, I guess you could say that is what happens after, you know, a few years. Oh yeah, that is. Those things, field raiders, they can kill you pretty fast in the beginning. That's actually the most interesting state of the game. Beginning. You're weak, you're vulnerable, you are without the means to actually, you know, fight back reasonably. That makes the whole experience really scary. Eating some raw plants. So I'm just that tough. Now I don't know what it is with the game and why it's actually deciding to be so slow. I do promise at least looking up what's causing that and how we can maybe do something about it. Because I really don't plan to have you sit, yeah, I don't even know, 30 seconds to a minute every time I try to bloody save. Problem is, they have range. Basically as much range as I have. And it makes this a bad fight. But so far, I'm quite happy. Now, the best possible solution would of course be to heal for free by sleeping or something. But, you know, can't really have everything, now can we? At least not in the beginning of the game. By the end, oh boy, we can probably do some really, really nice things. That also means I will have once again to decide which actually is going to be the path we're going. We can, of course, once again you know, go the mercenary way. Not a bad choice, mind you. We could, once again, you know, join the, well, the guard. It's not really the guard anymore. At least not in the way the old camp guard. And we can, of course, become mages. That is an option. A fire mage. Well, a novice, to be fair, to begin with, and then later on. We will have to make a decision there again. I do wonder. And even if I were to, you know, go like, for example, yeah, let's say we're going mercenary. Then, of course, once again, we are forced to be like, we want to go for one-handed weapons, or two-handed weapons, or maybe bows, or maybe crossbows. Then again, crossbows sucks. I would never do those alone. They are, I believe in this game at least, strength-based, which is very good. I can hear Bloody Wolf. I would mute its sound effect every bloody way. Bullshit. Without any training, you get out of the rhythm so bloody fast. Let me give you an example. See, I can hit forwards, and I can do this. If I press 2 times, he's going this. I do a side swing, and as long as I hit right, no problem. But if I do a forward, and then try a sideward swing, and I lose the right timing, he just stops. His combo makes you very much, you know, a hittable target. The combat system is special. I mean, it was special the first Gothic game, it is special now. Some things just really don't change. What's it? It is a great game, you know? Really entertaining. I mean, you really do have to get some time, some energy, and some bloody patience with you. You want to get into it. Especially, you know, beginning, and especially if you play this first time and you're already starting with Night. Actually, is there still a version around of Gothic 2 without Night of the Raven? Oh boy. Oh boy, it's actually a good question. I don't even know. I think the gold version you get usually offered on platforms like Steam and I think even on GOG is usually the one with the gold version with Night of the Raven. Well, Night of the Raven changed quite a lot actually. See, the original Gothic 2 was a lot more like, well, Gothic 1. Which also means that you could get bloody freaking powerful relatively easily. And Night of the Raven made that a lot more difficult. They added stuff like, you know, soft locking some of your skills. So that you just, you know, don't just power through. I played through the original Gothic 2 without Night of the Raven, I think 2 or 3 times. And considering that, you know, you could just level up, I had a very high strength, to put it mildly, and I did some horrible damages. Still, the game had some, you know, challenges to it, yes, but I guess it wasn't as hard as it was intended to be. You know, so Night of the Raven would kinda teach you. Because they had such nice things as, you know, soft locks. Which I believe for the main attributes was it 30? I think it actually was.
There's another of those scummy beasts.
Yeah, your mom. Yeah. Let's not get disturbed by Lester going on. Oh shit, I kinda took that away, did I? Sorry. Yes, the guy in the bloody novice robe who apparently still hasn't heard that the Brotherhood is not exist anymore and that they actually prayed to a bloody demon. It's Lester. Our old friend from the... yeah, from those sect people, you know. The crazy people. One worshipping a freaking demon. And apparently has lost interest in the creature and is now like, I don't care if you bite me.
one less monster around.
Yeah. I'm sure that's a good thing. Ah, no. Don't worry, we're going to talk to him. It's not like I'm going to ignore my old friend there. Actually, from this point, technically speaking, it is actually a reuniting after a long while. I haven't spoken with Lester in years. Quite true in this case. And that's, you know, makes me feel somewhat good. I can see rats, and rats are a pain in the ass to fight. And since I don't want to, you know, die uselessly, I will save the game. Again. Now, when I think about it, I think for the first Gothic game, if we just cut it down to actual playtime, it's somewhere around... What did I need? 10 hours or so? I mean, to be fair, I knew, of course, all the places and all the stuff, so... bit of an advantage there on my side. This one is not going to be nearly as quick. Believe you me, that's going to take a while. That's really going to take a while. Would you stop eating your comrades? You come, the rats. The one on my watch comrade. Yes, a rat in it. Well, ask the Soviets. So they understand the hidden meaning. Another cave. And a laser satchel, which means there's gold inside. And, well, not much more, that's actually it, usually. Always check skeletons. They could have the murder weapon just inside them. That murder weapon is usually something you want to get your little hands on. Mostly because at this point we have a bloody freaking branch as a weapon. That's not much. Like, even in Gothic 1 we started at least with a pickaxe and then a rusty sword. I'm feeling better about myself. Problem is, I actually think that the rusty sword is shorter than my branch. And I'm not even strong enough to use it. Well. That's a bit of pain. 30 strength, just for a rusty sword. I feel robbed. Well, almost. But is it me or have the stutterings actually stopped for at least now? Most of the part. I mean, if it has a stutter, you know, every 15 minutes or so, not even going to complain overly much. Like, this game is old as fuck too.
Is that you?
Yes.
Really? Man, am I glad to see you.
And me. Hey Lester, how did you get here?
Lester, how did you get here?
It's a pretty good
That
question,
was a
isn't it?
crazy escape. After the barrier exploded, I wandered around the area for a while in total confusion. Then I spent days fighting my way through these woods until I finally found this valley here.
And you ignored all the wolves
Milton, and
around
Gorn
you.
are still in the Valley of Mines. At least, I think so.
Well, shit. So, what do you know about the area? First things
What
first.
do you know about the area?
If you keep going down that way, you'll come to a farm. The city starts a little way beyond that, but be careful. There's not just wolves and rats hanging around here. There's goblins and bandits too.
Wolves and rats, no problem. Goblins we beat too. Bandits, however, human enemies. Well, we can basically not... I mean, it is quite this skill, let's call it a skill, that this guy remembers which end of a sword of a branch to even hold. Yeah? You have to be a bit careful here. So, how long have you hiding out in this valley?
How long have you been hiding out in this valley?
I don't know exactly. A week, maybe? But there's one more thing. When I came here in the evening, I took a look up on the mountain, and there were only a few trees there. And when I looked the next morning, that tower was there. I could have sworn it wasn't there before. Since then, I haven't left the valley.
You
Yeah.
mean Zardas's tower? I knew he was powerful, but creating a tower just like that...
Yeah,
Zardas
demons.
the necromancer?
Yeah.
He lives in that tower? I don't know if I like that.
Oh, believe me,
Don't
nobody
worry.
really does.
He's the one who rescued me from the Sleeper's Temple. He's on our side.
He's the one who sent you there in the first place and then ignored you for almost 2 weeks. If there hadn't been a new threat on the horizon, he probably wouldn't even have bothered. You know? I'm headed for Corinus. What do you know about the city?
I'm on my way to Corinus. What do you know about the town?
It's fucking Corinus.
Well,
Fuck you,
it's a
pronunciation
seaport.
in English.
Nothing special. Why do you ask?
I must go and see the paladins who are said to be in town.
Hmm.
Really? They won't even let you into the town. And certainly not to where the paladins
I
are.
know. I look like a freaking beggar. Any suggestions though?
Do you have any suggestions how I could get into town?
Yes, of course he
I
has.
certainly do. I worked for an old alchemist named Constantino some time ago. He has great influence in the city, and he's instructed the guards at the gate to let anyone through who can sell him rare herbs. So it's quite easy, really.
Mhm.
You collect a large bunch of the plants that grow here all over the place, and then you pretend you're working for Constantino, and in you go.
Isn't
But
that
don't
nice?
collect a mix of this and that. The guards aren't all that bright, and they know nothing about alchemy. The bundle needs to look good to them if you want to get through. I think that 10 specimens of the same kind of plant should do the trick.
We can probably
Thanks
do
for
that.
the hint.
Now let me be a bit mean here, because that's actually something I've done before. There's a bit of a logical mistake here in Lester's little story. The explosion happened 2 weeks ago. Basically, 13 days since, you know, freedom for everybody. And he has been hiding for a week inside here. So, you know, when exactly did he have time to go into Corinus, get in, looking like that, mind you, get into a connection with Constantino, the alchemist, and actually learn enough about him and his deal with the guards to be, you know, let in and out? How exactly should that work? It's a bit unreasonable. But, you know, let's be a bit forthcoming here with believing that Lester's just that good at making friends when he's not smoking swamp weed.
What happened?
After the Sleeper was defeated, the entire Brotherhood lost their minds.
Surprising, isn't
Without
it?
their master, they were all just empty husks.
And you? What about you?
It was the same for me. I had nightmares and even hallucinations. But once my head was more or less clear again, I ran for it.
So he lost even more
Once,
time?
I thought I saw a huge black shadow.
So there's
pounce
no
on a
way in
group
hell
of
he could have
fugitives
made that.
and burn them all up in a giant cloud of fire.
I don't think
At
that was...
moment, I really thought a dragon had come to kill me.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you see anything else?
No, I took to my heels and ran.
You need to tell Zardas about the shadow. It could be important.
You don't think it was my imagination? You mean there really was a...
Yes.
Dragon, yes.
You're getting into the thick of it again, am I right?
I shouldn't say in the thick of it. Not yet.
No, I think we're
good.
still pretty much out there.
It's so important. Then I'll go see him. But not now. For the moment, I'm going to rest. I'm still exhausted after the escape from the penal colony. I think you've got big plans.
No,
I'll
I
see you later
actually
at
don't.
Zardas's.
This point in time, we are basically, well, just where we started out the first time. We're nobody. With nothing. We don't even have a nice little scroll to show somebody. All we have is the idea of getting the our grubby little hands on the Eye of Innos. Which sounds as reasonable as, you know, asking any beggar, quite literally, to go up to the royal guard of the Buckingham Palace and being like, I need to speak with the Queen. They're sure to let you in and offer you an audience, of course, because what could ever go wrong? Yeah, we're really not in the thick of it. Definitely not. We're quite far outside, we have no really information, and we're going to change that. Ever so slowly, but we're going to change that. Now then, since we are already on our way meeting old acquaintances, time to meet another one of those. Wouldn't that be nice? One who has probably already been starting getting busy murdering some gobos. And the party has already finished their job. My, would you look at that? I'm pretty sure he has no problem waiting for us. Guess the stuttering kind of comes from loading stuff, I suppose. Still, it shouldn't really be a case, considering, you know, what a modern PC can probably do and what this game would actually require. Always good to check stuff, isn't it? Now then, this guy looks a bit different, and you might not remember the name Cavaleron overly much. But, well, maybe actually talking to him. I mean, he's wearing a different armor now. Maybe you will actually remember him on your own. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you something about it.
Trouble? Damn. I don't know where they're all hiding. You kill one, and shortly afterwards, they're all back again. Wait a moment. I know you. You're the fellow who was constantly baking arrows for me in the Valley of Mines.
But that is untrue. I wasn't that much.
Your name is Cavaleron, right?
Ah, I see you haven't forgotten me after all we went through in the cursed colony. Where are you heading?
To the city.
Well, to the city, eh?
Indeed.
You may run into problems with the guards. They aren't letting
Actually, it
just
would probably
anyone
be
in
better to
anymore,
have told him to
since
go,
the
that we go
area
back
is
to the
swarming
Valley
with
of
bandits. In the past
Mines,
few
because then he
days,
actually asks you to
one
look
of
for
those
his
former
shack.
psionics from the Valley of Mines came by here. He said he constantly goes in and out of Corinus. He went into the valley below the big tower. There must be a way in there somewhere near
Yes,
the
yes, I
waterfall.
know.
Maybe
It's
you
Lester.
should talk to the fellow.
No, and just in case you have not yet remembered, this is Cavaleron. Cavaleron is the one who teaches you bow skills, who is sitting in his little hut right next to the old camp. Basically, when you pass the old camp on the right side, when you're looking at the front gate, basically on the way to the new camp, the first little hut, you know, with that little cave behind it with a door inside, that was Cavaleron. That is the same guy, just in a new armor. That we're going to
Interesting
mention.
armor you're wearing. Don't you belong to the Shadows anymore?
Shadows? They haven't existed since the fall of the barrier.
Yeah, pretty
The
obvious.
moment we could finally leave the Valley of Mines, there was no reason for me to stick with them. Now I work for the Water Mages. I belong to the Ring of Water.
So what are the water mages doing now?
What are the water mages doing now?
They're up to something big. It has to do with an unknown region of the island.
An unknown region? Where is it supposed to be?
I can't tell you more. Talk to Vatras in Corinus.
Weren't you and your people enemies? You know.
Weren't you and your people enemies of the water mages back then?
Those crazy old days are over. There isn't any more new camp or old camp.
Man, I'm
Now
gonna
that
miss
the
that
penal
already.
colony no longer exists, everyone is on his own. Most of us former prisoners are still being hunted. The water mages were able to get my sentence commuted, and now I can move about freely.
Tell me more about the Ring of Water.
I need
I'm
some
not
information.
really allowed to talk about it.
Oh,
All I
come
can
on.
do is send you to Vatras. He is the representative of the water mages in Corinus.
We're friends,
Best
man,
thing would be to
buddies.
talk to him. Tell
Wink,
him
wink.
you've come from me.
Heavily
Maybe
implying
he'll
things.
take
Come
you
on.
as one of us. We urgently need more good people.
What are you doing here?
That's
I'm
most
sitting
important.
tight. If it hadn't been for these damned bandits, I wouldn't be here.
What was that about bandits?
Have you slept through the last few weeks?
Yes.
I'm talking about all the riffraff from the penal colony that are making themselves at home here in the area.
Quite literally
plundering
asleep.
and murdering for all they're worth. I guess I'm lucky. They didn't kill me. I let down my guard for one moment, and they clubbed me from behind. No idea how I'll get all my stuff back now.
Ah,
You
yeah.
were robbed by the bandits?
Yes, they beat me down and tossed me to the goblins for lunch. It was damned important stuff. A letter and all my money. I absolutely have to get it back.
I get
But
it.
without someone to watch my back, I'm not going back there. That cowardly rabble.
Yeah, and you're gonna take me as, you know, the guy who has no armor, no good weapon, and pretty much looks brawny like a bean sprout at this moment. Gonna train up those arms, you know.
Can I help you with the bandits?
Maybe. But as scrawny as you look, You surely haven't held a proper sword in your hand for weeks.
Well, see, even he points that out.
I don't have any choice but to take
He's a
your
good guy,
offer.
isn't he?
My time is running out. So, pay attention. Down this path here, you'll find one of those filthy holes in the ground that bandits like to hide in. The fellows there are the same ones who stole my stuff. Let me know when you're ready, and we'll nab the rabble.
Sure. I need better equipment, though.
I need better equipment.
Those swine haven't left me much. I can give you a wolf knife. Will that do for now?
You call that a knife? But what about healing?
I still have 2 healing potions here. Interested?
Did you have to ask?
Give him here.
Oh. As you can see, we have found some nice stuff. Like a rusty axe, my rusty sword, and then there's this, the wolf knife. It gives a bonus to one-handed talent. It only requires 10 strength. It gives a damage of 30. It is fucking awesome. Till you see this. Now, in this game, that is not just representing that it's shorter. It actually is shorter, making it bloody fucking impossible to hit enemies in a sensible manner. There are some people who are really good with that knife. I know that much. I'm not one of those. I'm a lot better when I have a bit of range. Doesn't need to be much, but at least, you know. Sword range would be preferable. Now, I think you can actually talk to one of those bandits and actually send him away, or something like that. Then go into the cave with Gibran. Technically speaking, you always want to be the one who does the last hit, so you get the XP from the kill, basically. Which is, you know, nice and dandy and all, but not that easy all the time. Especially because Cavalon is quite a good, well, hunter, I guess. He's also quite a good fighter. I mean, to be fair, compared to me, no. This would be me at the past. I would beat this snobby little bandits all of my own. But you know, it's not. Come here, Wolfie. Nice. We got you down. Nice and easy. I do like that. But up there, I know is the bandit I was talking about. Actually, is there any reason for me to go up here? Was there something here? I really don't remember all the little hidden things. Been too long. As I said, the world is a bit bigger than what it was in Gothic 1. So it kind of makes it a bit more difficult too. Because of course, the bigger the world, the more you actually have the need to, you know, build the world up. And the running bites did do a good job of that. The world is filled with stuff. Basically every little exploration you can do behind some trees or something is usually going to yield at least, you know, skeleton or some healing plants, or at least something. Doesn't really need to be much, mind you, just something. Yeah, I have some goblin berries. Those are really important. See, they give you 1 bonus, but make a potion out of that and bam! Suddenly you end up with something very better, very much better. Until, you know, your tongue decides to not cooperate. And just in case you're actually wondering why I do have my old save game sitting down there, or actually why I reactivated it, that is because that is a save game where I collected pretty much all the the nice little stuff shitting around and did all the questies and stuff. Because I'm pretty damn sure I'm going to miss some things.
Hey, where do you come from?
I've come from the mountains.
I've come from the mountains.
Exactly, you come from the mountains, and that is bad for you. Very bad.
Oh, so he
looking
says.
For you, a whole bunch of evil guys.
Oh,
There's
that's
someone
so?
here you absolutely have to talk to. Follow me.
Who's looking for me?
Half of Carinus is after you, and you're trying to tell me that you don't know anything about it?
Wait, did you really know?
I see. You just don't want to talk to me about it, hmm? All right, it's your business. So, are you coming or not?
Who should I talk to?
To my leader. His name is Brago. He can explain everything to you better than I can. So, what about it? Are we going?
How do I know this isn't a trap?
You know, I'm getting tired of you. If you don't want my help, then just go to the city and let them put you behind bars.
Come on, you are quite
or forget about it.
literally called Bandit.
Easy, my friend. Someone else already tried to trick me.
Oh?
This guy suggested that we should get an amulet together and share the profit.
I
Once we
remember that.
reached our goal, he and his friends attacked me.
It sounds as though they got you involved with the wrong people. Where was that?
Oh, you know, just the
I
minor
was a
colony.
convict in the mining colony.
You come from behind the barrier? Man, then we were there together.
I don't know
Nice.
you.
I was a digger in the old camp. I didn't have much to do with the whole thing. But what is more important now is you are in big trouble. Someone has put a pretty price on your head, and he's handed out a few posters with your mug on them.
Oh, that's not
If I
good.
were you, then I would be very, very careful. There are people with us who would kill their own mother for gold. But I think we boys from the penal colony ought to stick together.
And I
Good
guess
point,
I
yeah.
better thank you now.
Oh, it's nothing. Just make sure you stay alive.
I'm going to try that very much, thank you. So, who's the fellow who actually pays the bounty? That's a good
Who's the fella who
question.
pays the
A
bounty?
very important question,
That I
actually.
don't know. There's only one of us who knows him.
And who would that be?
Hey man, I can't really tell you that. You know how it goes.
Can I have the
Can
picture,
I have the
please?
picture?
It's mine.
Sure. After all, it's your mug on there.
Is there anything else that might interest me?
Very
You
good
mean
question.
about the area here? If you want to stay alive, stay on the paths.
Hmm.
The farther you go into the wilderness, the more dangerous it is.
Yeah, just the same as before.
10 gold pieces for the name of the guy who raised the bounty.
Oh man, I really can't do that.
You can.
Spit it out already.
Oh man, all right. His name is Dexter. Near the big farm, there's a steep rock.
Hmm.
There's a watchtower up there and a few mines. He has his hideout somewhere nearby.
See? That wasn't so hard. Here's your gold.
And just don't tell him who told you.
You are called Bandit. I'm sure there are more of you around.
There's bound to be a lot of trouble here before long.
What's up?
A guy named Cavalorn is coming to get you.
Rats, he's still alive. I'm out of here.
Well, then he's out of the way. I mean, you know, he's kind of all buddy-buddy with us now, so I wouldn't feel so good about murdering him outright. But of course, since the other bandits are of the not so wholesome kind, we are going to go in there and do what is just and murder them. No other reason than that we can.
Hey,
And he's like, what's up?
Let's mix it up with those guys. Sure thing. Just keep my back clear, okay?
Yeah.
Now they're in for a nasty surprise.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Cavalon is a pretty damn good fighter. Well, I mean, at least a lot better than me. And he doesn't even know fear. Cavalon doesn't know fear.
You did. Watch it. One more time and I'll slug you one.
Yeah, no problem. I think I've got all the XP.
So, that's done. Ha! They shouldn't have messed with me.
And me,
Then
don't
I
forget
can
me.
finally
How important?
fulfill my mission.
I've
lost
helped
too
you.
much time already.
what sort of mission?
Ah, yeah. First I have to get into the city, and then later, I don't know how I'm going to get all that done in time.
What about me?
Why not? You could take the letter into the city.
I could.
Then I'll have a bit more time to take care of my equipment. One
I
of
could
the
do so much.
bandits must have the letter in his pocket. Take it to Vatras, the water mage in the city. You'll find him in the Temple of Adenos. He preaches there all day. Tell him that I wasn't able to get it done. And if he asks where I am, just tell him I'm already on my way to the meeting point. Okay? Oh yeah, one more thing.
Okay.
First buy some decent clothes from the farmers. Otherwise, you may be taken for a bandit. Here's a couple of coins.
You funny little one.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. You know that. Man, they really took a lot out of you.
Yes, I know
You
that.
can't remember anything at all, can you?
I want to learn your...
Sure.
And see, he has actually, remembered most of what he can do. He can teach you to sneak, like he could before. See that we actually learned that from beforehand. Which allowed me to pretty much murder and plunder my way through the old camp at my leisure. That were good times. Now, quite differently to the first part. In this one, I actually never really got up to the whole, do a massive stealing spree because, well, that never really seemed to be worth it. Going through Carinas. There are a few places you want to steal from, sure. Mostly because, good stuff for free. Always nice. Apart from those specific places though, yeah, not so much, I'd say. And so we shall this time at least not do this. Or, if I were to do that, I'd do it in moderation. Here's a little bandit friend and he's sitting there like, oh. Now we could now go ahead and, punch him down, steal his stuff and take his XP, but, that's a bit too cheap of a move. And I really don't like to make it that bloody cheap. Also, it's just a bit too much of the good old XP hugging thing. Yeah, sure, I'm not gonna miss any of that. Because this, as you can see, is an Innu statue. You can pray here. I see monsters. They want to fight, but I'm afraid. Also, I don't want to die. I don't think anybody would want dead. Really now? Actually, kind of thinking about what to do Saturday. Actually, no, better not to think about it, because that just has really pissed me off, because I had to once again reschedule, because somebody just was like, you have no problem with that now. You can do that day completely now. Nonsense all the time. It's a small rind. Doesn't mean it can't kill you.
One less monster around.
And because he's not even part of my group, he's going to get all the XP. But that he can.
One less monster around.
Not that he can do much with that, mind you.
Hey, stranger. You can be glad you didn't come by here 3 weeks ago. We would have taken you for an escaped convict. And we made short work of those. You look completely done in. What do you want here?
I was attacked by bandits in the mountains.
Those filthy
Technically not
ravens.
untrue.
They were probably the same bastards who took one of our sheep last night. You had terrific luck. Most people don't get away alive.
Those bandits won't trouble you anymore.
Why? Are they dead?
Yeah.
They picked a fight with the wrong guy.
Thank Innos. Here, it isn't much, but I want you to have it. I'll tell
Let's see.
the others about
Nice.
this.
I'm on my way to town.
The way you look, you'll have to bribe the guards to get in, and you have to know what they want to hear.
And that would be...
Well, for example, that you're from Lobart's farm and want to go to the smith in the city. But that won't do you any good. You don't look like a farmer.
I see.
Yeah, I need better equipment, definitely.
I need better equipment.
I can imagine. But I tell you right now, we don't have anything to give away. If you can pay for what you want, Lobart will sell you something. Otherwise, go to him and ask him if he has work for you.
Oh, sure. Where can I find
Where
Lobart?
can I find Lobart?
Well, on the farm, of course. The farm belongs to him. And don't try messing with him. He's thrashed a lot of tramps and thrown them off his farm.
And a wolf. A young wolf. That would of course very much like to eat some sheep.
One dirty beast less.
Come on, it was just a wolf. Not that much of a dirty beast, mind you. Now then, is there anything else around here that I can pick up? I mean, I do see some wolfies. Another good opportunity to save. Technically, I don't really want to heal. I just want to, you know, get to the farm so I can actually use them, their beds, to heal and get to good morning again. But of course, be ashamed to just need to put a wolfie stand there. Well, one of you is more than enough for me. Because I don't even remember when we start seeing, you know, adult wolves. That was a lot closer than I would have liked. Just going by my health. A sliver, quite literally. Oh right, I know that fire. I remember that. There's actually a rumor in Corinus about that particular guest, I suppose. Or is that the right one? Was the special guest a bit more in front? I don't remember. Well, it doesn't really matter, technically speaking. Technically speaking, that is. It shouldn't matter overly much. You know, those are just goblins. There's something a bit more dangerous in these woods. Yeah, fucking goblin. Do I have anything that is gonna heal me? I've got beer. A dog paladin. Spicy. I mean, I've got water, which is the slowest drinking animation of all, because, you know, you're gonna find, I don't even know, hundreds of bottles of water, and you never really want to drink those because you see how long it takes. Yeah. And it's a nice little comparison. Just, you know, eating a dark mushroom. Pretty damn awesome. Nice. Now that goblin had a reserve stick. Just in case he loses his first stick, he has a second stick in his inventory. That's what we in the business like to call a smart gobble. A very smart gobble. That makes him a dangerous gobble. That means he needs to die. Hey. Got anything else to say? Nope. Again, might not look like much, but well, actually pretty nice farm is what's going here. And just how nice, we are going to learn that the next time. Because I'm actually out of time for today. Way. Now I can wait for half a minute for this to fucking save. But yeah, Gothic 2. We are going to see a lot more of this nice little old gem in the future. You know, apart from everything else I usually like to do. Did kind of say I would start with this one at some point. And after that, probably at some point Risen 2. Actually, I could technically begin run those simultaneous, but you know, you don't really want to overkill it with this kind of game. Yeah, I'm gonna get tired of it. Most and basically. But yes, let me change things around if I actually can do this from here. Yes, I can. We can get some nice little music. Instead of, you know, bloody sheep going meh, meh, meh all the time. Because it kind of annoys the living hell out of me. Just a bit. After a while. But yeah. I guess this is a good moment to bid you adieu. Have a good one and all that, and I shall be back tomorrow, of course, for the usual. Since I will have a very special Friday, I'm not gonna make promises about being on time. You know, just in case. It's also probably not going to be that long because that's gonna be a tiring day. And then there's Saturday, which is usually just a half day, but this Saturday, of course, is going to be a full day. Because, well, screw you, basically. Oh well, with all that ahead, I'm going to go to bed now because I need some extra Z's to get through that nonsense. Oh, without much further ado, sadly. Even knowing my general like for talking nonsense. I guess for the moment, bye bye it shall be. I'm just a bit more out of it than usual, sadly.